My friends, the summer may be an allegedly slow time for sports, but it's all the better to soak it in. The NHL and NBA finals are coming into view. Baseball season's in full swing. Not to mention the endless racing on tracks throughout America. Securing tickets to these events may be daunting, but I know the weapon of choice to aid me. SeatGeek, the sponsor of this video. In my quest to watch Paul Skenes pitch, the resale market's my best option to secure a seat to this event. So I go on the SeatGeek app and browse to my heart's content. It sorts all available tickets from red to green on a 1 to 10 scale. Green being good and red being bad, of course. I can get a view from where I'll be sitting, too. You know the secret is to use the code TREE to save $20 off your first purchase. I really need to see Skenes pitch live. SeatGeek's gonna get me there. I know it. Now on to the video. Looking in the baseball world, there have been a lot of have-nots this year, haven't there? The A's have learned absolutely nothing from the Oilers' move to Memphis, and no one's showing up to their games. Not counting the massive losing streak they've been on. Baltimore Orioles are apparently fucking terrible. Double-digit sub-500 record, their bats are ice cold, their pitching staff resembles Guernica, and Brandon Hyde's one of the bodies depicted in that painting. I'm still stunned they're that bad. The White Sox are just as shit as they were last year. And the Rockies? Somehow even worse than them. 8-42 in their first 50 games. Bud Black got a mercy killing. What a hilarious shitpile. But there's a team that slipped through the cracks in this conversation, and they want it to stay that way. The black sheep of the Burgh. And that might be a generous assessment. The only thing these Pirates are rating is the ass crack of the NL Central. A very weak NL Central. Last time we dug in deep, Pittsburgh was mired in 10,000 simulations of mediocrity. A team that was going nowhere and a massive collapse forced a factory reset over treading around 500. A deep rebuild commenced, forcing changes abound. It's year 6. Shit sunk to the bottom of the goddamn Allegheny. All this Arab ball has shown are the holes and half-assed measures of an organization that simply doesn't give a damn about succeeding on the field. This is the time where teams worth their salt strike. You've been blessed with the best pitcher this organization has ever seen. A potentially generational flamethrower that obliterates anything even sniffing the plate. You have the core of your choice locked up long-term. The first guy the organization managed to pay 9 figures to keep around even. You have a connection between the past and present, with Kutch being a figurehead. And it's the same response when any opportunity arises. Nothing. Like the deadbeat dad who says he's gonna be at your t-ball game yet never shows up. Just learn to accept defeat. Pirates sure as hell have this year. Even with Paul Skenes pitching his heart out. Even with Bailey Falter and Andrew Heaney putting up gems, the bats are being dragged like a carcass. The only victory is in humiliation. Tying the record for most games scoring 4 runs or less in the history of the league. It's entirely predictable with their modus operandi. Look no further than the hole at first base. The Bucks desperately need a middle-of-the-lineup bopper that offers game-changing power. A player they can rely on in clutch situations with the ability to draw crowds to the ballpark. Might have problems with a righty due to a deep left field, but it sends a message that you're ready to compete. You seriously think they were targeting Pete Alonso? That would cost money. They probably weren't even in the Christian Walker sweepstakes. Pittsburgh experiences the Moneyball approach without any of the vision or execution that would make it work. Their answer is Spencer Horwitz in a trade. Could it work? Maybe, but he's been hurt for most of the past few months. Corner outfield's at least been judged accordingly. The thing is, if you're gonna get a placeholder, at least get someone who can hold their own. 37-year-old Tommy Pham has more punch against guys in his fantasy football leagues. They got another reunion in the form of Adam Frazier, though, playing the parade. Same shit goes in trades. Jazz Chisholm's available at the deadline, but the price point is causing them to balk. The Yankees paid up for him, but they do have a Brian Dela Cruz in the corner. There's a reason why he was sitting in the corner. Do you know the last guy they signed to a multi-year deal in free agency? Ivan Nova. In 2016. In the words of a wise man, they're living in their fears. The budget's super tight, and Neil Huntington 2.0 will just take anyone who's willing to come on the cheap for a 1-year deal. For a rebuild, the plan is supposed to involve guys acquired from trades from the old core that was shipped off. With the opening salvo of trades that were made, Pittsburgh got next to nothing. I wish I was joking. You could speak of technicalities with Jack Sawinski and David Bednar, but they're shipwrecked right now. Would you rather take the setup guy that can't close games? But Bednar's a local boy, so they won't trade him even at peak value during a rebuild. This team was supposed to be built in a strong bullpen, but the bullpen blows leads non-stop. Wasn't that the whole point of 2024? Ben Cherington's time's running out and he knows it. Let's get one thing clear. Derek Shelton sucked as a manager. His deployments were baffling and bullpen usage could be blamed for Bednar's arm falling off these past 2 years. Firing baseball's Dennis Allen isn't going to do a damn thing to fix the blight. Don Kelly may be the second coming of Casey Stengel. He can't squeeze talent out of a stone. If he could, the Dodgers would have poached him ages ago for their development machine. The Pirates got some second-hand parts from Goodwill on their quest for success. One glance at the Pirates over the years and you'll discover a flaw that destroys their entire operation. They can't develop hitters. Every time someone with promise comes into this system, it evaporates into a barrage of weak contact and whiffs. Who was the last guy this team made into a bona fide player at the plate? Brian Reynolds? Even then, he was partially from the Giants system. Seriously, look at all the guys that have turned to rubbish here. Jack Sawinski should be good but can't make contact with the baseball. Henry Davis was drafted for his elite bat. That doesn't come close to appearing in the bigs. Key Brian Hayes? One of the greatest fielders I've ever seen, can't hit the ball with any power due to back issues. O'Neal Cruz is a fantastic talent, but he's barely able to tap into it. They're more interested in throwing him at center field where he has absolutely zero instincts for the position. Andy Rodriguez has fallen apart after Tommy John in a sluggish start. Diover Peguero hasn't panned out. Ji Hwan Bae hasn't panned out. Jared Triolo was good for about 2 months. Nick Gonzalez could be something if he can stay healthy, maybe. Even guys like Termarr Johnson are starting to lose their luster in the minors. Do you trust this organization to properly develop Connor Griffin with this graveyard of prospects? 10 years ago, the best hitter on the team was Andrew McCutchen. Today, the best hitter on the team is Andrew McCutchen. Okay, you can make an argument for IKF. Seriously though, Isaiah Kiner Falefa? Yankees fans were groaning every time he was at short, and he's one of the better ones in the team? Even Brian Reynolds has fallen off the map this year. If he turns into the next Jason Kendall Albatross, I don't know what I'll do. I get it, hitting is hard. There's so many moving parts to the art, and pitching movement and velocity make it all but impossible. But when you take half measures and patch it up with rotten plywood, it only makes things more difficult. You're in the middle of a rebuild and you trust the hitting to Andy Haynes? The hitting coach behind the amazing Brew Crew bats of years past? It's not even that he can't tap into his players' strengths, the approach he had them on was complete garbage. Why are you going for a 3 true outcomes approach when most of your guys aren't big power bats? Note a few of the more recent success stories in the hitting core. Key Brian Hayes had a white-hot end to his 2023 campaign, finally tapping into his potential in the box. His only demerit after June was a trip to the IL. A nod to the Pirates staff? Sort of. Hayes went down to Altoona to meet with John Nunnally to hammer down technique. Now, normally going above and beyond the call of duty would be rewarded. The Pirates honored this extracurricular effort by firing Nunnally before the season ended. Altoona didn't hit well that year, but it never mattered since it ruffled organizational feathers. Same thing happened to Rowdy Tellez. Struggled to all hell in the early part of the year. Completely reviled by the fanbase. So what does he do? Tell the Pirates hitting staff to shove it and goes outside the organization for help. Dominates in June and July while becoming a fan favorite for being one of the few guys that can hit a baseball. Then he sucked again and was told to pack his bags. Only issue was that it was a few plate appearances short of a $200,000 bonus. The fan base took it quite well. Same thing happened to IKF too, but at least he was okay with the bonus being foregone to get younger players ABs. Still cost an upward though. It was less celebratory when Haynes was fired and more relief. The only player who experienced any sort of success under his watch was Joey Bart. Now the man in charge is the hit collector Matt Hay, a former assistant on the Blue Jays. Because when you can get someone who aided a below-average hitting team, you do it. All this organization has done is prove every insufferable yins are right. They don't give a shit about putting the best product on the field. Any success is merely a happy accident. Instead, you get organizational oversights and ignorance. The highlights for this year have been embarrassing black eyes to the organization off the field. Clemente Walls had a decal devoted to Roberto these past few years. It suddenly got replaced by a hard seltzer ad. They told no one. Clemente's family didn't even know. They never considered the optics of it. They just made the change, then did some half-assed damage control to alleviate the situation. You got predictable backlash for it on all fronts? How shocking! The decal's back, but it's just a knee-jerk reaction. I'd say the same about the Buc'd bricks, but they were thrown in a local recycling center to be consumed by the elements. Usually they'd be replaced with other bricks, but the front facade was now cement. Bricks in front of the stadium purchased by fans when PNC Park was open, treated with the same care as refuse. It doesn't matter if they had been replaced several times before, there were other options available to you. Yet those would involve effort. The Pirates aren't into that. No, I don't want a complimentary commemorative brick. I want the one that's sitting in a Northside dumping ground. The thing is, these scandals were completely unnecessary. All they had to do was communicate their fucking intentions. This isn't even going the extra mile, this is PR 101. Don't leave anything to chance when you can nip it in the bud before it goes haywire. Yet now it's a headache for everyone who's come close to reading about the situation. It's been 2 months and we have fans actively accosting ushers. I'd be trying to whip him with my belt if he spit on me too. I don't blame him even if he got suspended. We have fans getting so pissed drunk they fall off the Clemente wall in celebration. The guy survived, but who knows if he'll ever get back to what he was. Or his friend after being arrested. In a time past, I'd be hooting and hollering about this shit. But growing up is realizing when a cause is long lost. The Pirates aren't worth it. Even making this video is probably too much effort. It's a repetitive loop reinforced by organizational apathy and poor optics. Cynicism is justified because it's usually proven true. This team isn't going to pony up a super contract for Skenes. They have neither the financial flexibility nor the stomach to tolerate it. He's going to be traded for magic beans in a few years like Garrett Cole and many others before him. Then Paul can become the generational pitcher he was always meant to be on a real team. And that's not even getting into their stadium lease expiring in 2030. I can see them pulling some bullshit, but it's not like they're going to move, right? That's why I gave up on them a while ago. There will always be a small childlike part of me that hopes they succeed, especially with the riches and pitching they have in the minors. But like waiting on that deadbeat dad to show up to your T-ball game, he'll be MIA for time eternal. No matter what the Pirates say or do, even if good, it will be reviled due to their piss-poor reputation. Bob Nutting could save dozens of children and puppies from a burning orphanage, yet we'd still be bitching why he never put out the fire in the first place. His PR's that bad and it's only getting worse. Airplanes flying over the stadium, fans chanting "sell the team" even at events unrelated to the Pirates and all. Sorry folks, Bob's only selling a lemon and some magic beans they get for Skenes in a few years. We can bitch all we want, but unless Bob throws around some N-bombs in public, nothing's changing. The issues with their RSN have caused them to lose money recently, which would explain the skinflint off-seasons they've had. Or are they still making money hand over fist? The reports are conflicting. Being a Pittsburgh sports fan is a unique experience. On one side, you've been blessed with the incredible fortune of championship runs, stability, and game-changing talents of envy. On the other, you get to experience malaise and the absolute incompetence of one of the worst organizations in professional sports. One that went from the pride of the city to one about to go under 500 as an organization all time. In my time as a fan, over 30 years of it, only 3 of those seasons can be considered anything close to competitive. The rest is dog shit. A team that died the moment the Schwarbomb happened. The worst part about it? That home run's gonna be a decade old in October. I still have thoughts that the great teams of the 70s and early 90s were made up fables. Kids of the future will think the same of those mid-2010s teams I adore. Nowadays, we get new memories to be haunted by.
Baez hits it on the ground to third. Gonzalez. This is so good. Oh my goodness! Wow!
You gotta be kidding me! You've gotta be kidding me!
They stole a run! You have gotta be kidding me! Javi Baez.
Keep going! Go! Go! Think you're invisible!
El Mago indeed.